Hello, everyone. It is me, the highly motivated Sariah Parker Pill. I have something great in store for you all, and this is one person that I just met, maybe about going on 3 years now. She's actually in the book, so please get it. She is the most wonderful Michelle Longus, the licensed real estate agent and also a CPA. And she's going to be talking to us today about how you can spring your taxes into master real estate. So, Michelle, how are you? I want to say thank you so much for just loaning your time out to me because you're such a busy woman. And I just feel so special that you became a part of this multi billion-dollar empire.
Thank you for having me, Sariah. It's a pleasure. Like you said, been knowing you and doing business with you and being able to use your platform to help other people with tax and real estate is a very great thing that I'm glad that you provided me the opportunity to do today.
Most definitely. One thing I can say about you, and I mean, I've noticed this about a lot of the females that's in my life, is that it's like iron sharpening iron, when it comes to, curling and you and I, as us being partners, we actually sharpen each other. And I mean, we have so many details that are alike, but in so many different ways, if that makes sense.
Yes, that way we can, it's like each one teach one. We can piggyback off each other. You're good in one subject, I'm good in another, Carolyn is good in another, and then we just bring all that together in one big mastermind, and miracles can happen.
Most definitely. So, one miracle I would like for us to be able to have tonight is you giving us some gold nuggets on how we can use our taxes to have massive real estate.
Okay, so I'm not sure if everyone knows this, but um about 90%, probably more, use their tax refund um, as a savings to put down a down payment on a real estate investment. And it could be for personal residence, it could be for commercial business use, it could be for an investment property. So, but the majority of the people use their refund to help them get into a home. That's why home sales, when it comes around April, May, and June, home sales go up because that's when refunds are coming out. That's when people have the opportunity and they can add to their savings to quickly get into these homes. That's when people are really trying to move. And I think that's the best way to use your refund as
So,
far as trying to save and get into a home.
so you're suggesting people instead of thinking that their refund is there for them to have fun, because if you put re away from fund, it's fun in the middle. People think it's fun time when you're really supposed to be doing some investing in yourself so you can have a residual income. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's what I'm saying because that refund is only temporary. That money comes and that money goes very, very fast before you know it. So, and you have nothing to show. So it's best to use that money for something that you can show and then can produce more income and more funds for you later on down the line. So that $6,000 refund can, multiply many, many times over again. And just remember, you get that refund every year, maybe.
Yeah,
And
so
just
I
another
know.
thing, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. You go ahead. You got the floor.
And another thing that I want people to know and understand is that in order to purchase a home, you have to be in compliance with filing and paying your taxes. If you have tax returns that are unfiled, they're gonna want you to have those returns filed before a lender will lend you anything. And that's just to protect their interest against a state or federal tax lien that the federal government or the state can come take that property if you're not good on what you owe them as far as your taxes. So they want to make sure that you have everything filed, and you don't necessarily have to be paid, but at least be in some type of payment arrangement with the government or the state to show them that you are paying this off so that they could take that expense into consideration when they're doing your financial analysis.
Now, one thing I can say is you taught me a lot, even though you know me, pretty. You got to know me really fast because I'm like a sponge. I want to know everything.
Right.
Can't keep my hands out of the cookie jar. You know. But it's only because my heart is really just there to try to help everyone in every area of their life. And I know that you actually even made me wiser on how to do certain things when it comes to my taxes. I mean, you utilize a person like you, which is a certified CPA.
Wait a minute,
Um,
Sariah. I'm an enrolled agent, not a CPA. So an enrolled agent only deals with taxes, where a certified public accountant has a broader scope of financials that they deal with. So I am an expert in taxes. So not a CPA, but an enrolled agent.
that's what I'm talking about. Check this sister over here. You know what I'm saying? See, I learned something today. You know what I'm saying? She is not. Do you hear me? Not a CPA. She's an enrolled agent.
Right, right. Only
Yeah,
dealing with taxes. My focus is strictly on taxes. That means I can cater to tax clients, and that's all I want to cater to. I don't want to do any other type of bookkeeping but taxes.
yeah, and that's a great thing because you're also a licensed real estate agent, and you help me in multiple ways. You know, even for what to look for and things like that. Even though I've been licensed, I've been a general contractor. Um, you help me not just with my taxes but real estate as well. So one thing you made me realize is that utilizing a person like you that does that type of work and only focus on taxes, you can basically suggest a person what to do with a portion of that money in every area of their accounts. You can put a little here for the savings, a little here for the rainy day, a little here for just business, a little here for health, and then also real estate, because real estate does bring passive income in on a residual basis, multiples. And I'm grateful for you being in my life, because now that you're teaching me how to be able to keep my own bookkeeping, even though I won't be doing that. That's what you're here for. But you're able to teach me to be able to handle my money in a different way, because I am an investor and I do buy tax sale properties. And you and I also are building on trying to get some Airbnbs, rolling really, really fast. We already have 12 that's in the making, and it took that money that was I was holding on, and instead of paying the government every single dime that I had, you was able to show me that I could, set up an account where though they was taking their taxes out on a
Right,
regular basis on their own. Whereas though I didn't have to pay tens of thousands at the end of the year. So at the end of the year, I'm not looking at penalties and saying, oh, Sariah, you have 7 businesses, you owe us $10,000.
right,
You know,
right,
and that is a wonderful way to be able to live, because if you can just take that one refund and just get a tax sale for like $1,000 or
right.
less, or 2,000 or 3,000, and turn it into 60,000, then why not do this?
Absolutely. And see, a lot of my clientele are small business, self-employed individuals. I'm small business certified. So, people know their skill. They know their trade. They know what they're good at. And I started off with helping real estate agents. They know how to sell homes. They know how to get clients. They know how to market, but they do not know how to do their taxes. This may be their first time as a self-employed individual. And if you're coming from being a wage earner, with a W 2, and they're withholding taxes, you have nothing to think about. But as a self employed individual, you need to make sure you're making your estimated tax payments, because if you're not and your business is profitable, you will continue to owe every year. And the IRS calls them pyramiders. That means every year they stack up a liability. Every year they stack up a liability. So those people, they don't get installment agreements until they stop the bleeding. And to stop the
Mm.
bleeding, you need to make your estimated tax payments. So at the end of the year, you're not owing, and then you have a failure to pay penalty on top of an estimated tax penalty on top of your tax liability. That's a lot of money to just give away. And you can be giving that into yourself. You can be invested into you. So I try to help more than others, my small business, self-employed people, because those are the ones that I network with. I know their struggle because I went from being a wage earner to being a stay-at-home mom to being self-employed. And because I had that background of working for the Internal Revenue Service for 10 years, I was on the other side. I was a revenue officer. So I was the one knocking at your door. I was the one seizing your assets. I was the one doing financial analysis. I was the one asking you for bank statements. I was the one levying your bank account and garnishing your pay stubs. And
Mm.
that's a very oppressive position to be in, to do that to people. I don't want to be on that side. I don't want to, people don't want to be in that situation. So as me going into my entrepreneurial journey, I said I want to help those people on that side. I want to be on the other side to help those, prevent those people from getting on that side of the Michelle Longus that was the revenue officer coming to take your assets or coming to pry and be all in your business because when you don't pay your taxes, you invite the federal government to be in your business. So
Oh.
I wanted to be that person because what I realized is that people didn't not want to pay their taxes. People didn't not you want to do right. It's just that people didn't have the know-how. So I pride myself on educating people. And I know a lot of people like Sariah, they're so good at their business and their trade. And some people don't have time to learn all of that, so I'm that one that I will educate you along the process, or at least keep you abreast of your situation and let you know what you need to do to stay out of that situation and make your business look profitable so that you can get assets in your business name, get business credit. If you're not up to par on your taxes and your financials don't look good, you will not be able to buy real estate. You will not be able to get business credit. So a lot of people like to deduct everything. They like to deduct everything so they can zero out all their income and they won't have to pay the federal government. Paying the federal government is not a bad thing. Giving your fair share is not a bad thing. If you It makes your business, that what that means, if you are paying your taxes, that means your business is profitable and lenders don't mind giving you more money. So you don't always want to zero everything out so that you don't have to pay the government. Sometimes you just want to bite that bullet and say, I'm gonna go ahead and pay that because me paying this 2,500 is gonna land me 10 stacks that can
Most
grow my business and I can
definitely.
have working capital and not have to spend my money to build my business. I can spend my working capital that's not my money
Mm-hmm.
and continue to produce more money that will be my money off of someone else's money. So
Right.
your whole mindset has to kind of change. And that's my job, is to kind of educate people so that they can have that change in their mindset, because a lot of things we were taught, especially in our culture, that really needs to be unlearned.
And you're so right about that. And like that's one of the reasons why I'm so 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 grateful that you're in my life, because I'm not just willing to learn, but you don't mind teaching. That's the issue. Like, it's okay to be able to learn, but if you don't have a good teacher that will hold you by the hand and let you know what your mistakes are, then you're not learning anything. You're just a sitting duck. And that's where I was at one point. Like, I thought I was doing everything right. I mean, people tell you this, people tell you that, but all of those things are not correct. It's all about saving, like she said, people of our skin color. They are mentally destroyed by saying, okay, well, if I don't owe the government anything, not a penny, then I'm good. No, that's not true, because I was in a situation where, as though I could have got 600,000 with working capital and business credit, but someone else had did something without listening to what I was trying to explain is put me in the position of a lender to say, I don't mind her being a risk factor for me because I pay all my bills on time. And then when I found out that everything was wrote off as business, I was highly upset because here 600,000 just went right past me. So I had to pay for for an amendment. Now I have to wait for them to amend my taxes, which is going to take many months, and then I'm going to have to owe that 10,000. And there's no way getting around it. But that 10,000 will have me being able to invest 600,000 into my business and into myself to be able to help other people at a broader state.
Yeah. And we live and we learn. And a lot of entrepreneurs start off like that. And in the beginning, it may be good, but it depends on where you want your business to go. You know, how you want your business structured. Are you going to stay a sole prop? Do you want to be a corporation? Are you going to hire employees? All of those things need to be discussed with your tax advisor, with your financial. Those things need, because they need to know your vision, to know how to work things for you and how to guide you. So if you say, "Oh no, it's just always going to be me. I'm okay with making, $10,000 a month. I don't really want to grow or expand." Then that's fine. But if you want more and you want to expand more, you need to let that person know, because at the end of the day, your books and your financials and what's on paper is going to make the final determination. So you want to make sure that your paper is well. I had to write a lot of letters during COVID, to lenders, to just establish these companies as being profitable, and that they were not a risk factor, and they did not lose money because of COVID. So these people had no profit and loss statements, and I'm not sure how they didn't have any profit and loss statement, because your Schedule C on your 1040 return is a profit. It's the equivalent. You could take everything off of that tax form and convert it right over to a Schedule C. That's why I always ask people, let me see your last filed tax return, because that's another thing. You can't go from being, taking a total loss and a negative one year, and the next year you're making over $500,000 in capital. Well, you know what that's going to do? That's going to bring an audit onto you. And if you're tax professional is not well versed in knowing your situation, they're not going to understand that they're hurting you by doing that to you. So it's very important that you all keep the lines of communication open and not be secretive. Make sure it's someone that you can trust and you don't mind divulging that information to. Otherwise, you can be in a whirlwind of trouble just because of ignorance, just because the communication wasn't shared and you don't know. But your tax professional, your financial professional, and the entrepreneurial world, self-employment can be your most valued asset, can become your best friend, because those are the ones that's going to help you progress and get money and save money and earn more money and not lose money. So, like, again, I do help individuals as well, no problem. That's a piece of cake. But my biggest why I do this is to help other self-employed or self-starters or entrepreneurs, whatever you want to call yourself, is to help them, so that they don't have to go back to swiping the clock. They don't have to go back to a 9 to 5. And if you win, I win. I want us all to win. If you're not winning, I'm not winning. Like, I want to see us all win, because that's the only way we can bring others up with us, is if we're winning. If I'm losing and my clients are losing, they can't bring nobody up with it. They're not even going to refer me to anyone else. So none of us are winning. So if you're winning, then I'm winning, because you're able to succeed in your business and I'm able to succeed in mine. And you can stay in your lane and I can stay in my lane, but I can let you know while we're driving that lane which way to turn. I could be your stop sign. I can be your yield. I can be that person for you while you're driving your train, doing what you do in your businesses and your contract. You are focused on doing your contractor's work. That would be like so difficult for me to be trying to do taxes and your job at the same time. Now, if you can do it, I praise you. But a lot of people can't. And then guess what? A lot of people are not interested. They want to hire a professional to do it and make sure it's done right. And I just want to tell people, even with that, read over everything, because at the end of the day, your tax professional, they may get a fine or a penalty, but you are going to be the one that ultimately pays and is ultimately responsible for any mistakes, fraudulent returns, anything that you've signed your name on. You are ultimately, you can't say you don't know if you signed it. So I just want to make people aware of that, even though they don't want to know the like the very all the little details, know enough to keep yourself protected.
That's what I'm talking about. So, what is one of the you were saying something about Schedule C, and we'll go more into that at a later time, maybe next week. We can actually have this continue because this is some good stuff here. Like the only way we can be all together as one, a multi-billion-dollar empire, is only if we're able to help you in every area of your life. It doesn't matter if it's health, if it's wealth, if it's taxes, real estate, um serving people. It can be whatever. General contracting, roofing, waterproof, whatever it may be. The thing is, we're putting ourselves in a position to say, utilize us, because it's not too many people out here that is willing to help you be on their level.
Right.
you know and it's sad to say that if you don't take the help now, you would never be ready, because we are growing
Right.
every second of our life. We're doing something productive to get to that next stage, and we don't want to go alone. We will if we have to, but
Right.
we don't, because it's not about us. It's about what we can do for others and how we can change their lives. And that's how we change our lives. Like she said, when you win, we win. So I just want to say thank you. I love you truly like a sister. They have to get the book. Get the book,
Yes. Yes.
man. I mean, you have
That'll help
no
change a lot of
idea.
that mindset too. Start reading and getting more insight, and you can learn from others from different walks, different backgrounds. I'm learning every day.
Every day. Yes, yes, yes. So we're going to close it out. This was actually wonderful. And we're going to be doing so many more other things that's going to not just help you all, but help us too, to be able to do what we can do for you. So my name is Sariah Parker Pill. Please subscribe, share, do all those type of things, because if you don't want to learn anything, maybe you can help someone else, because once again, it's not about you, it's about who we can help. And Michelle, she can be reached through me if you need anything, and you have to be like-minded, and you definitely have to be serious dealing with us, because we don't have no time to waste.
Hmm.
So we are here for you, and we will be here again next week. Is there anything you want to give them? And definitely we want to talk about Schedule C, because we don't know those tax
Okay.
terms. So we want to talk about that next week. But is it any like quick start, like 3 second thing that they can do by changing their mind and starting taking their refunds and not just having fun with them?
It's not too late. It's never too late to get it right. And you have to jump into spring at some time. So jump into spring now, and just start now. Don't keep hesitating. Don't be afraid to ask. People are out here to help you, and there's resources. I'm available. Sariah is available. And again, it's never too late, no matter how old or young, because I think sometimes people just give up, and you need to jump into spring now. Now is the time.
Yes, indeed. Today, now, this second is the time. All right, y'all. You already heard it from us once again every Friday at 12. You never know what you might hear, learn, or see. Please subscribe. Thank you all, and we love you.
Thank you. Have a good one.